Hello and welcome to the Daily Meal for Monday the 16th of December 2024. In today's Meal News, we have confirmation of who will be taking charge of the next game. The next game, Blackburn Rovers at home, Saturday the 21st of December. And it's going to be not Adam Barrett, David Livermore. So this is from the southernnews.co.uk. Millwall confirmed caretaker plans after Harris' departure. David Livermore has been named as Millwall's caretaker head coach after Neil Harris stepped down. Livermore, 44, Harris's longtime assistant, will be supported by first team coach Adam Barrett, goalkeeper coach Adam Marshall, and under 21 boss Kevin Nugent. The Lions said, well, that's nice, isn't it? Because he's on a Christmas break. The Lions said on their website, Millwall Football Club can confirm David Livermore will be taking temporary charge of first team affairs during the search for a permanent head coach. Livermore will initially step in for the Lions Sky Bet Championship fixture at the Den against Blackburn Rovers on Saturday the 21st of December, but with a view to remain in the position whilst the club's recruitment process for a new permanent head coach continues. And I said the other day, if you've got a manager who's out of a job, I reckon they'll try and put it off until after Christmas, because their missus would have already made plans. Their missus would have already made plans. So unless we're going to pay money to get a manager from another club who would have already been expected to be away, missing Christmas at home, if it's someone who's out of a job, unless they're a bachelor, I think it's going to be at least the Coventry away game, maybe the one after that, which I don't know what that is off the top of my head. Is that Oxford on New Year's Day? It might be. That rings a bell. Ring-a-ding-ding. So Livermore said, I feel privileged to be entrusted with taking temporary charge of the first team. I care deeply about this football club, and with the support of Adam, Kevin and Andy, three experienced coaches, our sole aim and focus is preparing the players for this weekend's league fixture against Blackburn Rovers at the Den. We know this squad of players very well and have great relationships with them all. We look forward to working with the team and the support staff to achieve a positive result for the football club this Saturday. Millwall's Director of Football, Steve Gallen, added, David is an excellent coach with a rich history with his football club. David and I have held really productive conversations about this interim period, and we are grateful to him for stepping into the role, as well as Adam, Andy and Kevin for their assistance during this period. He's a great relationship with the current squad and support staff and provides an excellent foundation in the interim whilst our recruitment process for a new head coach continues. So it's David Livermore, not Adam Barrett, which suggests a couple of things. Now, normally when Harris has left anywhere that he's worked before, Livermore goes with him. Livermore is either sacked or goes with him or quits with him. The fact that that's not the case now suggests that Neil Harris has no plans within the immediate future, i.e. the rest of the season, to get another job in football management. And interesting as well that they've given it to David Livermore and not Adam Barrett. So obviously Adam Barrett's done it before, he last time out he won one, drew one and lost one, wasn't it? So, but I mean, if David Livermore wins, like we've lost 3 games in a row. So if David Livermore wins, but I think it sounds like they're still going to be looking for a new guy. So, but I mean, if this is going to go on until next year, until like probably the FA Cup game, which is that the second week in January, the 11th? So maybe before that. So if David Livermore has got 3 games minimum, if he wins all 3 games, you've got to look at him for the job, no? Like, you must. I guess, especially if Norwich away, because we never win at Norwich away. Our record there is absolutely abysmal. So we've got 2 away games, 1 home game. if David Livermore wins 3 games in a row, like, give him the job. Like, why not? Why not? Who else are you gonna get? Who else are you gonna get? So, in terms of David Livermore not leaving with Neil Harris, which suggests that Neil Harris isn't getting a job anytime soon, we actually have some details about Neil Harris's next move. So this is from southernnews.co.uk. Neil Harris reveals his plans after stepping down as Mill head coach. Neil Harris says he is full of energy, excitement and passion for football, but added that he has no plans for an immediate return to the dugout. Harris stepped down from his head coach role after Mill's 1-0 defeat to Middlesbrough on Saturday. That result left his record in his second spell as played 35, won 15, drew 9, lost 11. Harris was asked after the game if he planned to go straight back into a job somewhere. Oh, no plans to be back in the dugout soon. I really enjoyed this spell. It's been amazing. It's been a whirlwind 10 months. I've loved it. I'm full of energy and excitement, and passion for football over the coming weeks and months. We're going to travel around the country, see some friends at Premier League clubs, go in and watch them train and watch their games. I'll do the same in the Championship, League 1 and League 2. My local team and my team, Southend, I'll be there to watch their games as well. Reflection time on the job, time with family, especially over the Christmas period. Someone told me Christmas is coming soon, so I look forward to that. I haven't had many of them at home over the last 30 years in football. And then, who knows? Like I said, Christmas, that's a big thing for football people, if they're not in a job. The Lions went 5th in the Championship table after they beat Leeds United 1-0 at the Den on November the 6th, but currently 9 points off the top 6 after a 5-match winless run. Harris gave his assessment of the squad the new head coach will take over. He said, I think it's competitive at the level. Over 10 months, we've not lost a game by more than 1 goal, which is important in every game. It's a squad that's 4th or 5th on the list for points picked up since February. It shows it's competitive. Harris said another reason behind his decision to step down now was to give the club every opportunity to act in the next transfer window for a new regime to come in, new leadership qualities, a different voice and different ideas, and added, I think the squad is, really competitive, some really good players in there. It's a squad that's shown whether the top 6 is slightly too far away this season. It's certainly competitive and shouldn't be in the bottom 6. So he's setting it up there. I think they call that poisoning the well. He's saying that this team, he managed to get a tune out of it. So the next man comes in, there's no way that they should be in the bottom 6. So if that happens, maybe the new head coach isn't that good. So yeah. There you go. No plans except for travelling. I tell you what. I don't know if this is something he'll be interested in, but maybe a job at the FA. Why not? Like under 20s, under 21s, under 19s, something like that. The only thing, obviously, they're based near Burton in St George's Park. So you'll be spending a lot of time there, but why not? Why not get a part-time job at England? He seems to have the ability to rouse a group of players, so why not? Why not indeed? And we've also got this again from the southernnews.co.uk. Chopper on whether Mill can reach the Premier League and what is required. I think a striker that can score some goals. No? Not only that, but I was thinking about this earlier. When's the last time we had like a forward that was a leader? A forward that was a leader that you could say, oh, let's make him the captain. We've had like good strikers before that scored goals. Darius Henderson and various others. Chris Wood, who was on loan, but they're a bit pompous and a bit arrogant and a bit they had issues. Was it Lewis Graben? So there's but when was the last time we had one that was a solid geezer and a leader in the team? It's got to be the man himself, Neil Harris, probably. No, maybe there's others. I don't know, Dickie O, Danny Dior. That was at the same time as Neil Harris, wasn't it? So I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I think we need one of them. But that, like I said, now that every team in the country and around the world plays one up front, the number of strikers is in short supply, and the number of really good strikers is in even shorter supply. So maybe we can find the player that isn't playing as a striker and make them a striker. Maybe we could do that. I don't know. That's something that you need to have vision to see. But here's the thing. So you get this has happened. I know this. Nearly every player that you see playing professional football, when they were probably 7, 8, 9, they played as a striker and they were the best player on the pitch. And then when they got up into more higher levels at like the academies and stuff, so there's another striker who's better than you, so you need to play in midfield, or you need to play on the left wing, or you need to play on the right wing. So there are players who are not playing as striker who, when they were kids, were really good strikers, and then they get converted into something else. So it might be a thing that you could find, a striker who's a decent person, and maybe you can convert someone from another position to a striker. I don't know. But anyway, let's get on with this. What am I waffling on about? So, Neil Harris believes Mill can reach the Premier League if they get their next transfer windows right. Harris pointed to the examples of Luton Town, Blackpool and Burnley when they were promoted to the Premier League under Harris's former Lions teammate Sean Dyche in 2013-14 as examples of clubs of a similar size to Mill going up. Since Harris returned last February, Mill were in the top 6 in the Championship's form guide. Harris feels the next 2 transfer windows are crucial as he spoke about the club's future after Saturday's 1-0 defeat to Middlesbrough on Teesside. Well, I think, this manager search is crucial. We've seen that they fucked it up with Joe Edwards, but that was done under Cav and Aldo. So now we see what Steve Gallen can pull out of the hat and who he recommends. Because we believe, we don't know this for a fact, but at the time, was it Nathan Jones, Joe Edwards, and was it Michael Beale were on the shortlist? And they ended up going, no, Joe Edwards wasn't even on the shortlist. So they had a shortlist of Nathan Jones, Michael Beale, and I think there was someone else, can't remember, Steve Bruce maybe. And then Aldo said, hey, hang on a minute, I know this guy called Joe Edwards, why don't we get him in? So because Joe Edwards didn't even apply for the Mill job. He got called up by Aldo and said, hey, do you want to apply for this job? And that's probably why Aldo's out the door. But, like that shortlist that they came up with, like what have those people done? Like Nathan Jones having a nightmare. Like he's on the verge of a nervous breakdown every week at Charlton. But then you say, well, that's Charlton. Maybe it's just them, And then Michael Beale, what even is Michael Beale doing? Does he even have a job? I don't know, but that was a shortlist. Like, bruv. So now we see what Steve Gallen's made of. Has he got what it takes to bring in a better class of manager than that shortlist that we had last time? So we do hope so. Harris feels the next 2 transfer windows are crucial. Oh, of course they can, Harris said when asked if the club can get to the Premier League for the first time. Oh, Luton have shown it, Blackpool showed it, Burnley showed it. And I'm not talking about Burnley now, it's a very different club to when Dyche first got them to the Premier League. So teams have done it, I was talking to Sean Archison, the club captain, a local lad to here, before the game. And we were just saying, as a football club, wow, my first spell in charge started 10 years ago when we were a League One club. 2 playoff finals, second one promotion, 8 years in the Championship. And it'll be this year just for Millwall Football Club. It's phenomenal. To be a mid-table, to top 10 side for so long is a wonderful achievement for this football club. And people shouldn't lose sight of that for sure. But of course they can, reach the Premier League. Only that's what the next transfer window is for. We wanted to strengthen in the transfer window and take us to the next level. And maybe we've fallen a little bit short of doing that, but the squad is competitive. There's some really good players in it, and they just need to make sure that January's correct and summer's correct, and keep pushing forward this year. Just make sure the sustainability is there, and the reliability in the team to be mid-table or above. And why not? Just keep developing. Every team in the Championship's got a chance. The hard part is there are so many bloody good teams in here, and we've seen one today in Borough. But if you saw the video yesterday, the end of the video, the stats where I showed you, we weren't that far off of Middlesbrough. Like, we could have got something out of that game. We just needed to have better finishing, which if Josh Coburn played, that might have been a factor. But obviously he's injured again. So we do wonder, that's his second injury. Is he going to go back in January? Because we can't have a player who keeps getting injured. However good he is, no point. Might as well loan someone else in who doesn't get injured. So we'll see. Now, moving on to this, the Loanwatch. A weekend of mixed emotions for Millwall loanees. This is from millfc.co.uk. Millwall loanees experienced a weekend of mixed emotions as December continued. The only winner was Zion Fleming, who they keep putting in the Loanwatch even though there's an obligation to buy, so technically he's on loan. Yeah, did you see the goal? Everyone's creaming their pants about the goal that he scored. So what happened, they were, maybe 25 yards out, they had a free kick. They took it short while Norwich weren't watching. Like, some of the players haven't even had their back to the ball. They were lining up the wall. And then they didn't close him down because maybe they thought he was just moving the ball. And then he basically had a free shot on goal, which if you're a professional footballer and you have a free shot on goal, like, you should probably score. I mean, you at least get on target. But everyone's creaming their pants. Oh, what a wonder goal. It's like, no, like, at that level, if you don't close people down, that's what happens. Like, it's all about positioning and blocking, and you move them where you want to move them, which is what Neil Harris has been saying. Like, we let teams have possession, but where we want them to have possession. But yeah, everyone's creaming their knickers about Zion Fleming's goal. I mean, yeah. Henry Hearn, however, found the back of the net for Hornchurch once again, just days after extending his loan period for another 28 days. The striker cut inside his marker before finishing 10 minutes before the half-time break to open the scoring in the Urchins' 1-1 draw at Eastbourne Borough. And Eastbourne Borough, obviously a lot of ex-Millwall there, I believe. Sean Williams is there, and there's others there as well that I can't remember. There was also a draw for Kamal Grant and Bromley as the Ravens were held at Hayes Lane by Port Vale. But there were losses for Tom Leahy, Chin Ockley and Dylan Adai. The former duo unused substitutes in Woking's 4-0 loss at Gateshead and Sutton United's 1-0 defeat at Altrincham, respectively, whilst Adai was between the sticks as Cheshire United were beaten 3-0 at Boreham Wood. Yeah, like I said, he did really well at Ramsgate, but he's now gone up 2 levels, so that is quite a big jump. That's quite a big jump to the National League South, I believe they're in. So yeah, there's some games tomorrow if you want to check them out, or there's games at the weekend. So obviously, Hornchurch vs Chippingham Town. So if you're in the area doing shopping at Lakeside, I mean that's just down the road, isn't it? Morecambe versus Bromley's on Saturday. Chin Ockley, Sutton United versus West Ham United in this trophy that they've got in the National League. West Ham under 21, so that'll be fun. I'm sure he's going to play in that. For some reason, I think it's because he hasn't got that much pace. He started out really well in the first team, and then the results started to go a bit, and then he's been dropped to the bench. But he does come in for these kind of cup situations, so we'll see how he does. He might come in for that. Obviously, that's tomorrow night, Tuesday the 17th, Sutton United versus West Ham under 21s. Dylan Adai, Tunbridge Angels versus Sheffield United. That's again Tuesday the 17th. Shamal Lawson, Fleet United versus Gateshead. That's on Saturday. And then Kevin Nisbet, Aberdeen versus Hibernian. So there you go. Now, we are going to talk about this. This is from Portsmouth.co.uk, which is the news. Why Portsmouth cannot find the cause of the Millwall power cut, and why they believe it won't happen again. Well, how do you know if you can't find the cause? How do you know? So Andy Cullen admits Pompey and Scottish and Southern electricity networks have been unable to identify the cause of the mill power shortage, but they are confident the subsequent implementation of fresh measures have mitigated the chances of a Fratton Park repeat. Following an investigation into last month's cancellation, the Blues have installed a temporary generator, while SSEN have sanctioned an increase in power into the Fratton end and the presence of 2 members of their staff on match days. Since then, home matches against Bristol City and Norwich have passed without incident, and the next Fratton Park fixture takes place tonight with the Academy hosting Leeds in the FA Youth Cup. And we don't know when Mill's FA Youth Cup tie away at Man City is yet. When I find that out, I will let you know. Attempts to pinpoint the source of the problem are ongoing, yet in the meantime, Cullen believes Pompey and SSEN have reduced the likelihood of it occurring again. He said, previously we had 2 power sources coming into the stadium, a substation in the northeast section of the stadium, which is enclosed and high voltage, and one towards the Tesco area. The Tesco one serves the North Stand and the fan zone, while the main one serves a number of neighbouring properties, including Fratton Park. It serves Fratton Park in terms of the floodlights, runs through the Milton end, into the South Stand, and then into the Fratton end. There was a surge in the power involving a substation that evening, but what we still don't know is what actually caused that particular surge, although it wasn't the fan zone or anything in the North Stand. After a thorough investigation working very closely with SSEN, while we could not identify exactly what the cause was, what we do know is the power on that night didn't exceed anything that we'd had for the previous 12 months. There must have been a surge or spike which tripped the circuit breaker, which tripped the power. So how do you mitigate the risk of it happening again when you don't actually know what have caused the surge? Well, we put some extra resilience into the system. We brought in an extra generator which independently powers the Fratton end, and by doing so puts more resilience back into the other substation. At the moment it's a temporary generator, but we might look at what we do long term. SSEN have also increased the loading into the Fratton Park in that particular area, while they have kindly allowed 2 of their engineers to be with us on match days for the time being until we get that sorted. That's a lovely gig, isn't it? Getting paid to stay and watch the game, just in case the lights go out. SSEN don't believe it was something in the wider network during the power off, but they don't know the cause either. I know what it was. I know what it was, and I can tell you now. It was Lurch's hairdryer. Yeah, it was Lurch's hairdryer. He plugged it in to dry his hair, and it blew the fuse. That was it. So there you go. They have no idea what happened, but they're sure it's not going to happen again. Fantastic. So I'm sure all of you who travelled all the way down there, and then didn't get to see a game of football, are very happy about that. Especially the ones that had the nightmare journey back on the train. So there you go. And on that note, thank you for watching, and goodbye.